What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Thanks for tuning in to Stock Essentials. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be going over Virgin Galactic Holdings, ticker symbol SPCE, and why this stock is going to be exploding next week. Pretty big news for this stock, and a lot of shareholders, call option holders, basically anyone who's in SPCE is going to be really happy next week. As we're anticipating a huge price movement with this stock. Implied volatility is going to skyrocket, and a lot of option holders are going to make a lot of money, especially call holders and shareholders as well, of course. I'm still holding my 100 shares, and I'm pretty excited to see what happens with this stock next week. It could skyrocket pretty big. SPCE, one of the most mentioned stocks on Wall Street Bets, so there's a lot of backing behind it, and there's a lot of good news behind it as well recently, especially with their successful space flight a few weeks ago. But they just announced that Richard Branson reached space in his own ship successfully. It was live streamed. The whole flight was around 15 minutes, but it was a very successful milestone for the company because not only was it a publicity stunt, but it also shows that they're very serious about flying customers into space, which they plan on doing in 2022. So this is a great long-term stock, and once they actually start flying customers into space, this stock can definitely explode. At a price point around $50, it's still a great buy, and everyone should consider this stock for the long term. So one way to play this stock would to be buying shares, selling cash gear puts, or buying long-term call options. About 600 people have already reserved tickets for their flights, which costs around $250,000, which may seem like a lot, but it's pretty reasonable for flying to space. So 600 people have already bought tickets for that. So they're already getting tons of interest into their flights, which is pretty big news for this company. Very big news. So yeah, it was mostly a commercial plug for Virgin Galactic, just to make their company known that they're very serious about flying people into space, which is very good news. He actually beat billionaire Jeff Bezos into space just about a week early, which is pretty nice. It's pretty interesting too, and it's very good news for the company. Very great for the long term. So let's jump into the options chain. And I know a lot of you have requested an in-depth guide on how to buy calls, how to buy puts, and we will be making another video, a separate video, dedicated video on trading options. And maybe in the future we will do that. But for now, we're gonna be going over the best options to buy for SPCE. Obviously, buying shares is a great strategy for the stock, as it's a great long-term hold in my opinion. So when buying call options, it's pretty risky to buy them a few weeks out. You want to do them maybe at least 2022, even 2023 would be pretty good. Because remember, Virgin Galactic is going to start sending customers into space in 2022. They do still have 2 more space flight tests that they need to conduct before they're going to be sending customers into space. But it does look pretty promising. Most of their tests are pretty successful. They just flew the CEO, or the co-founder, Sir Richard Branson, into space along with 5 of its company members just today. So it's pretty successful, as well as the successful test flight they had earlier in the year. So we want to buy something like at least July 2022 or January 2023 because of the fact that they're sending customers into space starting 2022, which is a few months from now. So it is going to be kind of pricey to buy options, and obviously when the market opens, these pricings are probably going to skyrocket. So you want to get them in early, or at least just wait until Virgin Galactic Holdings kind of consolidates, kind of has a cool off period this week. I'm anticipating it going to be very volatile, so that means that the premiums for these contracts are going to be high as well. But something like, I don't know, I can see the stock reaching $100. So $100 strike price, call option, and currently it's around $1,300. But obviously, when the market opens, it's going to change. But something like $100 call option expiring in a year and a half, January 2022, 2023, is going to be a good call option to buy. If you want to be a bit safer, if you want to buy it closer to the money, you could do a $50, you could do a $60. Depends on what SPCE opens at. Buy it closer to the money, and it'll more accurately represent 100 shares. So that would be my recommendation. For buying call options, choose it the furthest expiration date, because they're not yet sending customers into space. That's going to happen in sometime in 2022. But if you want to be a shareholder, if you want to sell options, you could do a few weeks out. July 23rd or even July 30th would be pretty good. And selling puts is basically trying to buy the dip on the stock, getting paid to buy the stock at a lower price. So if, say, for example, we choose a $45 strike price, we would be happy to buy 100 shares at $45 each. Currently, it's at $49, and we get paid to potentially purchase 100 shares at $45 each, $555 of premium into our pockets. As remember, when we're selling options, we collect the premium. We're not paying them because we're option sellers. But the caveat is we have to put down $4,500 of collateral. Because remember, if we do end up getting assigned on our cash secured puts, we had to buy 100 shares at our strike price. And at $45, that's a pretty nice strike price to buy 100 shares at. So it does require a little bit of capital. It's not for everyone with small accounts. And if you have a small account, highly recommend buying those long-term call options. It's only going to require a fraction of your money. Or you could just buy a few shares of Virgin Galactic holdings if you want. So I'm going to be looking at selling some puts earlier on this week, just to take advantage of the increased implied volatility. Right now it's pretty high at 220%, but it will skyrocket due to the news that they just launched Richard Branson into space, which is very good for the company, giving them a lot of publicity and a lot of interest into their space flights, which is going to occur in 2022. So that's about it for this video. If it helped you in any way, please leave a like, comment down below what your thoughts are on SPCE, and if you're holding any positions, and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. It helps out a lot. Thanks for watching.